And now Cody Rhodes. I want to get your thoughts on this as we wind down here. Cody Rhodes is a guy that left WWE on his own merit about a year and a half ago, has gone out and has done the What Culture promotion. He's done GFW, Ring of Honor. He's now the Ring of Honor World Champion. He's been in New Japan. I think Dolph Ziggler, maybe not to quite that extent, but could leave WWE and obtain some success similar to that. Now, Cody Rhodes is 31. Dolph Ziggler, I think, might be 37, so he's a lot older. I mean, significantly older than Cody, so I don't know if he can follow in those footsteps. But I think Ziggler can be a much bigger commodity on the indie scene than he is right now in WWE when no one gives a shit about him. So hopefully he puts over Bobby Roode and then just kind of goes off on his way, leaving WWE. But I want to get your thoughts on Cody Rhodes. What have been your thoughts on his rise to superstardom outside of the WWE on the indie scene?
Well, I've seen some of his live event matches. He wrestled out here for River City Wrestling about a year or so ago, right when he got done with WWE. I think unlike Drew McIntyre, I think he's using this platform to come back as a major guy in the WWE. I think once Dusty unfortunately passed away, he was given that horrible Stardust gimmick, which he didn't want to do, and I think he had much more personality than that. I know he was soft on the mic for a while, but now he rocks his stick very well. He plays a great heel. I think he's somebody he's a smart businessman. He's like, no, I'm going to leave. I'm going to make a great name for myself, and then I'm going to come back as a main event guy and win the title. Now you can quote me on this, and in like 2.5 years when it happens, you can go back to this episode and say, I told you so. But before 2020, he will come back to WWE, and he will be a main event player and win a WWE championship. He's a smart businessman. He's making money on the indies. He's making people desirable. He's making them like, maybe we fucked something up. Maybe there was something there that we didn't see all along. And now, when he was there, this whole NXT and great workership on the indies wasn't as prevalent as it is now. They're going to see that and be like, wow, we need Cody back. What's it going to take? Obviously it's not going to be a part-time schedule, but obviously it's going to be something to where I'm coming back here, but I want to be a top guy. Like I know I am. I got Rhodes blood in me. My brother was a huge mid-card guy. I think I'm better than that, and I think he's paving the way. I'm not a big fan of the Bullet Club thing. I think the Bullet Club's kind of been overdone at this point now for a couple of years, and everybody leaving, and Adam Cole going to WWE, and the Gallows, and Carl Anderson and AJ Styles kind of leaving. I think it's kind of overstayed. It's welcome, but I think he's somebody who WWE's going to want, and they're going to reach out to him in the next year. So you know what? We fucked up. We made a mistake. Come back. We got great plans for you, and you can be into that. I would say, him and Roman Reigns now will probably be so much better than Shield Roman Reigns versus Stardust job match that we'd see on Raw a few years ago. I think the potential is going to be there, and I think he'll be a Universal, which is a stupid name, or a WWE champion, before 2020 is up.
I think it's a lot likelier now than it was, even a year or two ago, or a year ago, now that we have the brand split back. And I said this before, the funny thing is that Cody Rhodes left right before the brand split. And that's not to say they would have pushed him if the brand split came around. They hadn't been doing anything with this guy for years. He had the Stardust gimmick for 2 years, and they didn't do anything with him whatsoever. Uh-huh. And I know there were plans at one point. He's done various interviews talking about it, how when I think there was a plan at one point to have Cody Rhodes on SmackDown and Stardust on Raw, which doesn't even make any sense because we know they're the same person. It's so stupid. So I'm glad he left. I'm glad he's been successful. Like you said, I think he could have been a world champion a few years ago. I'll never stop going back to that moment. And people always tell me that Cody Rhodes was never over in WWE, which maybe for a large part of his career is true. But you go back to 2013 at that Money in the Bank pay-per-view. If you watch that show back on the network, people were going fucking crazy in Philadelphia for this guy to capture the briefcase. And they just never followed up on it. Now, they did the whole tag team deal with Goldust and the Shield stuff, which was awesome. But on his own at that point, Cody Rhodes could have been a top-tier guy. He could have been Mr. Money in the Bank and not Sandow, who I liked, but they never did anything with him, and then he eventually got released. But I think Cody Rhodes could still be that guy. And unlike Dolph Ziggler, he's got age and time on his side. Like I said, he's only 31 years old, I believe. And he's been a huge, huge star in the indie scene. So I absolutely agree that at some point, probably even prior to 2020, I know he's talked about it before, how I think someone asked him, has he had any talks with WWE recently? And he said no comment, which to me means he absolutely has. And that's not to say he's going to be back by the Royal Rumble 2018. But that means to me that he will be back at some point down the road. And he's Dusty Rhodes' son. They were never going to let go of him. They were never going to release him. He had to leave on his own, and which he did, and he's had major success on the indie scene. So I completely agree. I'm pretty sure we will see Cody Rhodes back in WWE at some point in the not-so-distant future, and hopefully as a world champion.